1985 F250 right here. So this episode is going to be more about just going over the truck and everything I plan on being doing. Like right now we're got the hood open, and let me flip this around here. So like part of it is like I've already taken off, you know, the AC compressor and all of that stuff out prior to starting this. But like part of it is like the motor's going to get pushed back 16 inches, so I'm like taking into account all of that. I got to cut out the firewall, and I need like a hat for the carburetor, so that way it has ducting rather than a standard air filter. It's going to come off of the front. It'll sit up on top, and it'll come off, and then it will Y, and have one, you know, an air cleaner over here somewhere, and probably an air cleaner over here somewhere. You know, the shocks will sit probably right in here on both sides. Engine cage and whatnot, battery will get moved back somewhere else. You know, radiator will stay somewhat in the same location, but front suspension, right now you can see it's got a pretty big drop right here from where it was stock. That's because it has like a 4.5 inch lift. That will get taken out. I got to go ahead and cut all the welds and unbolt it and design new brackets, just, you know, because the way I want it to sit and everything. I'm gonna have to notch out the frame over here. So I am gonna have to, like, obviously this is gonna come out for this shock because it's gonna have a different setup, but I'm gonna have to notch out the frame for the axle to actually come up, due to the fact that I am gonna be lowering it back down, but I still need all that up travel. Same thing on the other side, but the other side gets a little different because it does have the pumpkin, and I don't know what that's gonna be like. I don't think it's gonna change it too much because I'm not extending them. I could extend them later on. It would just be a pain, but all of them are gonna go ahead and get reinforced with plate. Once we get everything set, might have to do the cut and tune deal. Power steering pump is going to have to get relocated, and when they do the swing set steering, they'll probably get changed to a different, I don't want to say style, but mounting location, which is going to change the geometry of that. So my big worry with the transfer case is that some of them came with a slip yoke, which this guy right here would come in and out of the transfer case itself. When you're pulling big numbers and everything, that could slide out and create torque, or it can slide out completely. I found out that this is the bolt-on style, so we're good. We'll get rid of the carrier bearing. This will get shoved back. We'll get a longer drive line that's got a 2-piece built into it. The lower link will probably sit around here, which is just a little bit behind the driver's door. So I have this piece of tape here in relation to everything for me to push it back about 12 inches. Now it's going to go back another 4 inches, so it's going to be about here, which is going to be just behind the driver's seat. So in here, all of this is going to get taken out. Like, I already did this, and it looks so nice. But my problem is it doesn't allow for the roll cage. So it'll get taken out, and I'll probably use the same material, but I'll make little triangular pieces that fit inset to the roll cage. Dash is going to come out. It'll get like a Fiberworks dash. These seats will come out. The bench seat will come out. We'll have a third seat there. This drive line, or this transmission tunnel, obviously is going to be built out 16 more inches, so probably roughly here, and then I'll start dipping back down, which doesn't matter too much. It'll allow for the back seat passengers' feet to probably sit between these chairs, no problem. The shocks will sit kind of in the back corner. They'll probably, because the fiberglass, so I plan on having this kind of cover up here and then go back and then have the wheel well. There'll be like an inspection panel here that we'll make out of this. We'll probably like end up cutting a big old square section out, and then probably tab it on the inside with the roll cage, and then a plate will be able to Zeus here, and this will be open, and then we'll have enough room for the shock mount and everything there. Plenty of room for the passenger to sit in there and get in. But I'll probably have 1 or 2 like little AC units, so that way it's still AC'd in here. Different door panels. As much as I want to keep the original look, it's got power windows. I don't know if I'm going to keep power windows. If I do change, or if I do keep the power windows, I got to get new felts, which no matter what way I look at it, I got to get new felts. But he'll have 1 3/4 tubing throughout front to rear. Backside we'll have 2 tanks and 2 spares, so be a good build.